Hello, everybody, and welcome to Teaching Thursdays. This is a free public preview of the Mentorship Circle. Excuse me. This is our Teaching Thursday feature, and it is going to be every Thursday, and we're doing a few of them publicly so that people can see kind of what it's like over on the Mentorship Circle. If you want to join, you can learn more at ladyshiya.com, and there's a little link on the screen, ladyshiya.com/trial. If you were really wanting to try it out, you can try it out for 1 month for free. So right now we're learning the tarot. How is everybody today? Say hi when you get here. I see a few of you watching. We are going to be focusing on spreads today and understanding tarot spreads. Okay. So what we have here for our deck today is the Vita Sera Tarot. Okay. And what's unique and unusual? Hello, Jeff and Nicole. What's unique and about this particular deck, and I'll show you when we zoom in here, is that this deck actually has the basic meanings of the cards on the cards here on the actual card, including, you know, what are its associated elements, astrologically, what the suit itself right here is about. If you look down here, what the meaning is when it's upright and what the meaning is when it's reversed. Now, right now, hey, sweetheart. So right now, we are going to be going with regular upright meanings. I don't have any of these cards in the reverse. Okay. So we're going to talk about Facebook, or we're going to talk about spreads. Okay. Now, when you're talking about spreads, you're talking about the specific way that you lay out the cards. Now, each one of these can have a different relation to each other. Now, we're going to look at a traditional, easy, very easy 3-card spread. Okay. So what you normally do is you say, okay, now there's a couple of ways. First of all, we're going to start about with dealing the cards. Okay. You can shuffle your cards however you like. I personally shuffle mine like this. Okay. And if they're too hard to bend for a bridge back, I'll just push them together like that. You'll see some people that shuffle them like this. Okay. You'll see people who shuffle the cards with the corners and end up bending up the corners and all that other stuff. I don't do it that way. Now, when I'm actually shuffling the cards like this, I'm normally keeping the cards in the original direction that they were. Okay. I don't intentionally start reversing anything. So here's what I do. I have it to where it kind of flips like that. And when you look at the cards, this is how they are as far as upright and upside down. Okay. So when you turn around and put them together like this, see, they're still facing the same direction. So when you put them down, they are shuffling in an upright manner. Okay. Now that especially means, and this is typically how I do things, that especially means that if something manages to get in this deck upside down, then it probably has extra significance on the reversed meaning. Okay. So we're going to look at spreads and how spreads work. So whenever you have a spread, you have 3 indicators, or we're doing a 1, 2, 3, a 3-card spread here. And each one will have a specific meaning. Okay. So you can say, from meaning number 1, that is going to be the past. Okay. For meaning number 2, this is going to be the present. And for meaning number 3, this is going to be the future. Okay. So what we have here is a past, present, future spread. Okay. Now, a lot of times the accuracy of your tarot is going to have a lot to do with asking the right questions. Okay. So when you're having a past, present, future spread, you know, what are some of the questions? Somebody throw a question out that you would like to do with this spread. Past, present, and future. Somebody throw me a past, present, and future question out for this spread. And don't worry, we will re-pull cards for that question. So Give me a question that a past, present, and future pull will work on. Okay, so Tiffany asks, what, I'm going to pick these back up, what do I need to heal? Okay, so if we're looking at past, present, future, how would past, present, future relate to what does Tiffany need to heal? Okay, you could say, is there something from her past that is, and this is something you have to think about when you're asking the question and choosing the spread. When she's asking, what do I need to heal? Are you simply saying, is it what's from the past you need to heal? What in the future is it impacting? Or what in the present is it impacting? And how should you go forward in the future to heal this? All right, so we're specifically kind of asking past, present, future questions here. Okay, so remember our first one here, our first one for what from her past does she need to heal? Okay. What in her present is it impacting, okay? And what in the future does she need to do in order to go forward and heal this thing, okay? So we have a past, present, future. We have assigned direct meanings to these cards. Without doing that, then you know what? The interpretation can be a lot more open. But we have a specific question and a specific answer for each position in this spread, but they're all building on each other, past, present, future, and you can modify this past, present, future to any question. All right, so past, what from your past do you need to heal? And what we have here is the Three of Pentacles. Now I recognize that that is kind of hard to read, so I'm going to go ahead and read what it says here on the Three of Pentacles. Being recognized, meaningful work, monetary rewards, renown, applause, teamwork, collaboration, communicative, and creativity. Now, my personal read on the Three of Coins or the Three of Pentacles most of the time is a new opportunity that's coming up. Many times a new financial or growth opportunity. Okay? So, Tiffany, we're doing this reading for you, and it's saying, what from your past do you need to heal? So when you're looking at these exact meanings, Tiffany or anybody, what do you feel like this is saying from her past that she needs to heal? Three of Pentacles, new opportunities, being recognized, meaningful work, creativity. How would you interpret this on something that needs to be healed? This is the universe kind of threw a curveball, because this is typically a very positive card and not something that you would look at to say, this is, when I normally pull this card, I'm thinking of something that needs to be healed. No, this is not a card I would normally associate with that. So what are your thoughts? I'm interested to hear what your thoughts are on what needs to be healed. And then I will give you my thoughts. Anybody, throw it out there. Let's see if I can find my chat window. Okay, so we have Tiffany, who thinks healing would be new, is happening. It might be hard. Okay, but our specific question is, what is it that you need to heal from your past? So this is a what? And so Nicole puts an interesting thought out there. Her relationship with money and putting herself out there, being confident in her gifts and her talents, and sharing them with others with confidence. That is an excellent observation, Nicole. I think that is a really great interpretation of this. Okay, So what she needs to heal, maybe it's a fear of change, a fear of new things as well, because remember we talked about, one of the traditional definitions that I typically use is new opportunities for growth. So, and sometimes growth, when you kind of extrapolate beyond there, growth itself is scary because growth itself is extreme change. Okay, so changes, new opportunities. Tiffany, would you say that between Nicole and what she's saying with your relationship with money, putting yourself out there, being confident with your gifts, talents, etc., do you think that that kind of fits with something that you feel like might need some healing in your life? Hey, Steph, how you doing? And remember, this is a free public preview of the Mentorship Circle, one of the small features of the Mentorship Circle, which is teaching Thursdays. And right now we're learning the tarot. So we're actually teaching tarot. It's not about readings. It's about learning how to read. It's learning about how to tune into your intuition, learning the cards themselves, etc., etc. And Nicole agrees that fear goes hand in hand with both. Tiffany, do you feel like this is something that you need to heal from? Is this resonating with you, or do you see any additional insights with this? If you join the Shiya's Mentorship Circle, by the way, it is $25 a month, and it's a Facebook group. It has self-paced learning and the guides there in Facebook. We have, of course, the Teaching Thursday classes, which you're getting a preview of now. We have weekly journaling prompts for shadow work and working through issues. We have exclusive guided meditations that are available only in the Mentorship Circle. An exclusive spell archive where I archive my spells and create new ones for you guys. A special mentorship circle chats, which are private chats where we could just talk about anything and mentoring. We have community support from one another, and everything gets archived for your self-paced reviews. We learn the runes, tarot, empathy, spells, witchcraft, shadow work, mindfulness, astrology, dream interpretations, Reiki, and a shit ton more. Whatever I can throw out of my brain. Okay. So, Tiffany, I'm going to assume we're just going to go with the assumption that you're typing, and we'll see your comment eventually on this. But let's look at how is this impacting your present. And we have the Fool. Okay. Now we're going to learn how all of these things kind of go together, how each one of these things build on each other. Okay. Now the traditional definition of the Fool, and I'm going to read this here for you, is in here: new start, unlimited potential, innocent, fancy-free, idealism, spirit of adventure, creativity, a tendency to iconism. Okay, and a journey. All right, now one of the things that I've always seen in most Fools and in most Fool decks is that this Fool is not really thinking ahead. And if you know the Fool's journey, and that is available on the YouTube as well as in the Mentorship Circle, excuse me. But if you learn the Fool's journey, you realize that the Fool doesn't really think about much. They're just packing what they think they need. They're not practicing for or planning for the future. They are just kind of jumping off a cliff and saying, I'm going to go forward with this shit. I'm going to jump in and I'm not planning ahead. Okay? I am just going to trust that whatever will be, will be. Que sera, sera. All right? That kind of thing. So the Fool is going in. The Fool goes in with like extreme confidence and is not looking where he or she is stepping. So knowing that, okay, what do you think? How do you think this needing to heal from the Three of Pentacles is impacting her future or her present right now? Because this is her current. This is how needing to heal from this is currently negatively impacting Tiffany's present. You see how each of these build on each other? Even for a simple 3-card spread. Okay? So if I were to look at this, I would say simply that, okay, Maybe she's not thinking things through. We were talking about possible money issues on this, okay? Or not picking up opportunities. Maybe she's not thinking things through. Maybe she's going ahead without thinking through financial concerns or possible new opportunities, or putting her gifts out there, or her confidence. So maybe she's making foolish decisions or impulsive decisions, which sometimes can lead good, but sometimes can lead to calamity, okay? Because she's unhealed from this or needs additional healing in this particular area, okay? And now remember the question that we had for the third position, okay? The third position was, how does she go about in the future healing this? And yes, rash decisions could lead to rash decisions for the Fool. So how does she go about healing this? And we actually have for this the Four of Pentacles. Okay, I normally I have a song that I associate with this particular card by the late great Kenny Rogers. You got to know when to hold them, know when to fold them, know when to walk away, know when to run. You never count your money while you're sitting at the table. There'll be time enough for counting when the dealing's done. Okay, the traditional meaning that it has on the card here says possess, fortune, prosperity, miserliness of wealth or emotion, control, too possessive, avarice, lack of security, hoarding possessions. Okay, so I normally play this one, my catchphrase for the Four of Pentacles is holding your cards close to the vest. Okay, and then from that you can infer and look at other things on how does this fit into these things. Okay, how does the Four of Pentacles fit into these things? Well, we're talking about rash and impetuous decisions, right? Hello, Melissa. Okay, so for this, it would be hold on to your horses, play your cards close to the vest, hold things in for a bit. Or if we're talking about financial issues and having issues with watching the money go out the door and spend it foolishly, this would be bring in some savings, make a savings account, hoard some money, put some money aside. Okay, so you see how these things can very much kind of fit in several different dynamics. Now, when you're reading intuitively, then you would be able to extrapolate a little bit more. But right now we're going from the general definitions of the cards and their position in this past, present, future reading. Okay, it is in this way, even without intuitive reading, and even without psychic reading, that one can learn to apply the tarot to their daily life. Okay? So, does anybody else have an example of a question that would fit with past, present, future? Let's do another one. Because practice makes perfect. Practice makes perfect. Okay? And we see here as we pull the cards and look at them as a whole, then it starts telling a more cohesive story. It starts telling a little bit more of this can relate to that. We see how they kind of all relate to each other. And once I pull the whole thing, I am definitely geared towards, hey, wanting to go out there and see that new great thing to spend some money on. And how's that impacting? Well, money is kind of flowing out without too much foresight. Need to get up some savings, okay? You need to have some savings. Okay, Melissa brings up a financial outlook. Okay, so financial outlook. So how would we put our past, present, future? What would be our exact questions? Past, present, future. Okay, let's say question number 1 for our past. And let me get out my little numbers here. Okay, here's a 3. 2, the 1 fell behind the desk. Here we go, there's the 1, and there's the 2. All right, so we're doing past, present, future. So question number 1 is going to be, what are my we're going to say, what are my limiting beliefs from my past that are impacting me financially? Okay. What are my limited beliefs? And when we're talking about limited beliefs, we're saying, what are those things which are kind of holding us back from our financial prosperity going forward? So what is the thing that's holding us back from our past, pulling us backwards, okay, financially? So we're going to pull one for that, okay? Our present, okay, would be, what do we need to do now to change that? Okay, so what do we do in our present to change what's holding us back on our limiting beliefs? And then number 3 is, with these changes, and again, we've asked what needs to be let go of, how do we change it? And with these changes, how will that impact our future prosperity? Okay, so that's what we're going to do. Now, instead of looking at it and turning them over one at a time, we're going to go ahead and turn them all over. Okay? And that way, when we are looking at this, we're going to take a quick glance. And we're going to say Queen of Cups for past. Okay? And that is an emotionality. Page of Cups for present. Okay? And that is about focusing on the self. Okay, I often call that the narcissist card. And that's not always a bad thing. Okay, and then the future is 9 of Swords, which is grief and kind of taking a break. Okay, so this doesn't look like a very positive, right off the bat, future financial outlook. All right, so we're going to be able to look at all of these things. We're seeing a lot of emotional shit in the middle of, and even the 9 of Swords, you see that emotional person going, oh my God, grief card, okay? And you're sitting there like, okay, that's somebody freaking the fuck out. So what's our limiting belief from our past? Queen of Cups, okay? Our limiting belief from the past is initiation, nurture, well-loved, kind, warm, empathic, purity in thought, poetic, creative, artist, dreamer, and charisma. Okay? Now, one of the things about the Queen of Cups is she is almost never facing full on to the viewer of the card in whatever tarot deck you get. She's normally looking off to the side and she's paying attention to her cup. And cup is the suit of emotions. Okay, and Melissa points out that there's so many emotions that she has that are attached to money. Okay, so when you think about that and emotions attached to money, like, we're going to add the intuitive into this as well. And you see that she is staring at her emotions, but it's in this golden goblet. Okay, so since we're answering a financial thing, how do you feel like, what's the limiting belief here? Okay, attaching emotion in with financial well-being, all right, and constantly focusing on that financial well-being and that being the control of your financial decisions, maybe. Okay, now when we're looking at what are the things that you need to do to change it, okay, instead here we have the Page of Cups. Okay, you're going from a more mature card of the Queen to a younger card, the Page, all right, in terms of maturity. The Page, traditional meaning here is emotional, innocent, focused, dreamer, imaginative, creative, artistic, poetic, psychic, intuitive, sensitive, inspiring news. And remember what I said is one of the things, the keys that I read with the Page of Cups is a little bit of Narcissus, okay? That he's very enamored with kind of himself and what's going on, okay? Now, why are we going from a more mature or long-held view into a less mature but seemingly similar, like we're having an identical pose? Well, we'll answer that in a minute. Okay, Nicole thinks it's not believing that they can have the desire or more than the tools to manifest the financial stability that she wants. Okay, so Melissa, maybe does that resonate with you? Maybe you don't believe that you can have, or that you deserve more, or that you have the tools to manifest the financial stability that you want. Okay, or maybe there's a doubt, a self-doubt that's there. Okay, but what I see is that you're having to work your beliefs slowly backwards. Okay, what I'm seeing is the mature into a more loosely held and more intuitive view. Okay, a more loosely held and more intuitive view. Okay, so instead of going in all deep into your emotions, yeah, you're not going to completely get rid of that, but you can kind of go through your past and your shadow work and learn how to add your intuition into that and that innocence into it instead of making the all focus. Now, when we're looking at the Nine of Swords is, I always say that I have songs for everything. And what we have here on the Nine of Swords, I'll say on here: haunted by loss, troubled, anxiety, panic, despair, unduly blaming the self, nightmares, insomnia, inevitable. Or, as I call it, the overthinking card. Okay? If you're happy and you know it, overthink. If you're happy and you know it, overthink. If you're happy and you know it, then your brain will surely blow it. If you're happy and you know it, overthink. Okay, so how does that financial outlook about overthinking? The universe just fucking told you to be more intuitive. Okay? Don't tie so much of your emotion into it. Let things flow a little bit more freely. Work a little bit more intuitively. But it's saying your future outlook is overthinking. Okay? That means, you know what? You're gonna fuck this up by overthinking. All right, so if you're tempted to overthink, go back to card number B in the fucking present. Okay, past, present, future. Be in the fucking present. Okay, don't live in the past. The past is a canceled check. Don't live in the future, because the future is just a promissory note. Be in the now. Be more intuitive and allow that to flow and start to have a good view of the emotional side of money. Okay? You see how that kind of works together? Yes, and Nicole says, in the present, go within, retrain your mindset to believe in yourself and that you deserve to have it. That's what she believes for the present. I think that's an excellent view of that. Okay, Melissa, who asked the question, says, and with the brain that you try to control. Absolutely. Coming back from the emotions to be more free and childlike. Yes. And Nicole also says, as part of the solution, put yourself first. Listen less to other people's opinions of you and who they are and who they think they should be. You see how easy it is for 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, for a spread. Now you saw the difference of pulling them up. Now, what's the difference if you don't have a past, present, and future? Okay, so Nicole, throw a question out there. Any question. Throw me a question of any kind. All right, something that we can ask for a 3-card spread in the tarot. And we are not going to do past, present, future. We're just going to randomly throw 3 cards out there willy-nilly with no particular significance whatsoever. We're going to get confusing. And this will be our last practice read for the day. So Nicole says, what does Spirit want me to work on this year? That is a great, very open, general thing. So what you have to do then is you take your 3 cards and you put them out. Okay, here is card number 1. All right, we have card number 2 and we have card number 3. Now, the only real significance is that this is the order we put them in. So if the guides, the universe, and spirit is giving us a sentence an answer. When we ask a question, if somebody asks, how are you today? And you answer, I am fine today. Okay? We ask the guides, we ask Spirit, what does Spirit want Nicole to work on this year? And we have 1, 2, and 3 going on here. Okay? So we're going to assume that this is the answer. Okay? 1, 2, and 3 is the answer. So we have the 2 of Pentacles, the 10 of Wands, and the Sun. Okay? So we're going to start and see, how does this make a sentence? How does this make an answer? So let's look. The 2 of Pentacles. What does the 2 of Pentacles say? Multitasking, juggling, harmonizing multiple responsibilities. Okay? Balancing, prioritization, unlimited potential, possibilities. I normally say my phrase for this is busier than a one-armed person at a paper hanging contest. Or my other one is busier than a one-legged person at a butt kicking contest. Okay? Basically, you got a lot of plates in the air. You got a lot of things going on. Okay? This is trying to balance things out, juggle things out. Okay? So we're going to see card number 1 is balance. Okay? Card number 2 is the 10 of Wands. Now, the 10 of Wands is taking on burdens. Feeling like, look at that person. They're trying to carry some shit that's like way too heavy from them. Many times you'll see them trying to maneuver something that's too big or too bulky. Somebody who's carrying a shit ton of stuff on their back and is bent over and weighted down. All these things, it shows burden. And what it says on this particular card is travail, overload, exhaustion, pressure, excessive responsibility. Try hard. Load is temporary or near the end. Okay? That's what the 10 says. So what we have here is balance. The word we have here is burden. And then we have the Sun. Okay? Now, the Sun, as you know, everything has a card. Every card has a song or a phrase. This one's, good day, sunshine. Good day, sunshine, yeah. Okay, that's what this one always, that's the song that goes with the Sun. And that for me is always about hope, innocence, naivety, and, the planet's kind of coming into alignment. The light at the end of the tunnel, okay? Or the feeling that I have when I look at the Sun is, it's been cold out, it's been wintry, and that first real nice spring day where you're kind of bundled up and you go outside and immediately the sun just kisses you in the face and says, spring's here, bitch. Go take that jacket off and revel in the shit. And that feeling of, oh yeah, I'm taking my jacket off and I am just going to soak up that sunshine. Oh, fuck yeah. Summer is coming, baby. All right. That is the feeling that I get when I look at the Sun. That's obviously a very positive card in my estimation. Now, what does it say here is the exact meaning on the Sun. It says, jubilation, vitality, enthusiasm, success, prosperity, attainment, glory, material wealth, health, confidence, compassion, and contentment. Okay? So for this, I get joy, happiness. Okay? So we're seeing balance, burden, happiness. So if we're putting this together into a sentence, this is where a little bit of understanding Spirit kind of comes in. Girl, you've been juggling way too much shit. You need to put some of this stuff down and start enjoying life a little bit. Okay? Because you're putting it in line with the question. What was the question again? Always go back to the question. You got to get the right answers. You got to ask the right questions. And the question here is, what does Spirit want me to work on this year? And the answer is, Nicole, you're juggling way too much shit. You need to balance this shit out. Put some of this shit down because you're exhausting the crap out of yourself. Okay? And you need to get out and enjoy the sunshine, enjoy life, have a little fun, and have a little hope. Okay? Get out there and fucking live your best life, girl. All right? You see how these things kind of come together, even when you have a spread that's not a spread. We asked a question. This is the sentence answer, and we see the progression going through. And it very much makes sense on the intuitive side once you put everything together and see how it goes. Whoosh, we're reading from left to right kind of thing. All right? So I hope you guys have enjoyed learning a little bit more about how to read the tarot with a simple 3-card spread. We'll be doing some more tarot training and practice next Thursday. Meanwhile, if you want to continue to get these after I finish my preview here, then you'll need to look at joining the Mentorship Circle. We'd love to have you. You can get a free month by going to ladyshiya.com/trial. Send me a message once you sign up for the trial to make sure that it's working, because I had a weird kind of, somebody said, oh, they signed up, and I never saw anything come through. So yeah, just check that out. All right. But, and you can learn more at ladyshiya.com. What's available in the Mentorship Circle? It is $25 a month. It is a Facebook group. Although I am working on getting the content available on YouTube as a private link for those who are mentorship members. Okay. Self-paced learning in the guides. Okay, so there's guides inside the Facebook groups where you click on it in the menu, and there's all kinds of topics in there, and all kinds of my original content. We have the Teaching Thursday classes, which is what you're watching a preview of now. We have the weekly journal prompts, which is shadow working and journaling together. We really get deep in some of that. Exclusive guided meditations that are in there with more to come. An exclusive spell archive. Basically, as I'm making spell graphics and stuff like that, they're all getting archived in there. So you have all the spells that have been on my lives, plus special ones that I write only for the Mentorship Circle. There's also the special Mentorship Circle chats, which is where we can chat about anything, and it is private to group only. So you can talk about anything and everything just within the circle. The community support from each other, of course, and everything that we do is archived for self-paced review, okay? Topics you can learn in there include runes, tarot, empathy, spells, witchcraft, shadow work, mindfulness, astrology, dream interpretation, Reiki, and so fucking much more. Because I got a lot, I've got 48 years almost of crap in my head that I'm still working on dumping out there. So do think about joining, okay? ladyshiya.com for more info, and ladyshiya.com/trial. You'll have to type that in directly because that's a hidden link if you would like to try it out. We'd love to have you. All right, guys. I will see you guys tomorrow night for the dark moon, right before the new moon, right before our lunar new year. And we are going to be getting seriously into some binding chains, and breaking the chains that bind, breaking negative cycles in our life. So show up for some extra special Dark of the Moon magic tomorrow night, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We will see you then. Merry meet, merry part, till we merry meet again.